Hello and welcome to the show. We start with Forza 153, racing the Utes. Now you really can't go wrong with driving some Utes. However, as we come up this next hill, going a bit faster than the driver does, manages to land the Holden in the back of a Ford. I mean, there is some teamwork going on here between Ford and Holden, which is rather rare. Knight's Viper is coming right up to the end of a race when the game decides to betray him. Now, we have seen this odd glitch in previous Forza games where it kind of just freezes everything in place as more and more AI cars pile on. Normally, though, it just releases the vehicles. Doesn't normally fire them into, well, everywhere, basically, on the map by the looks of it. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to go from first to almost last in the final moments of a race. Flying Potato is playing some of the Flag Rush game on Horizon 3 and got his Polaris really rather stuck. And unfortunately, with the flag, someone was always going to come along and pick it up. The Toyota steals the flag, however, knocks the Polaris free that can reverse back, steal the flag immediately, and then the Toyota goes and crashes into something solid trying to give chase. Now the Polaris is free to go and score the flag. Surprising help from the Toyota in that one. Up next, on to GTA 5 with, well, sometimes you just want a good old-fashioned roll, and this Regina is more than happy to supply it. I don't quite know how they managed to roll it over. Well, there's not really very much in the way of bumps there. Just obviously it was enough to upset the car. Commander Leaf has managed to upset the police force as they managed to lag their way through a Hummer to nail his Buccaneer. Didn't have a wanted rating before that, and the police murdering his car with lag. He now has a 1-star. Up next, on to Showdown with Vree 404 at the very start of a Gymkhana event. Manages to eat a tyre bundle, and the Mini is not too happy with that. Goes for a rather lazy rollover. Does, land back on its wheels. It is good to carry on. That's certainly not the best way, though, to start a race. Cyber Twin 2 carrying a little bit too much speed, and the ice cream van is out wide, goes for a bit of airtime, loses the back end, can't get it all back under control again, and as it bounces its way into the forest we go. And I love how the van waits. Just waits until the player goes to climb out of it before it explodes onto Just Cause 3 now. Duster Danny is doing some off-roading with an armoured vehicle as it clips a rock, goes for a roll, and the floor doesn't seem to exist anymore. I was fully expecting it to roll its way down the hill and explode into a building somewhere, but no, it just goes straight through the floor. And then we have an explosion. Poor Rico, not having the best of days. Shadow Whare is messing around with a trailer that is bouncing around in all sorts of slightly peculiar manner. Not really designed to be towed about those trailers, but thanks to the tethers you can. However, things get a little bit stuck. The trailer just sort of doesn't want to be moved anymore. He goes to check what's going on, and, well, at least Rico survived this. I also love how there is just a door. The door is the only thing left from the vehicle. The trailer's fine. I think the trailer lost a tyre. But no, there was just a door left of the van. Up next, on to Destiny. There's some interesting vehicles on Destiny. This kind of heavier of the hover vehicles as he's heading towards his destination, jumps out and gets taken out by his own tank. I also love how it is the smallest of knocks from the hover vehicle, but the player goes absolutely flying. On to R-Factor next with some incredibly noisy Formula 1 cars, with everybody braking neatly down into this first corner when a small nudge between something and the Ferrari sends the Ferrari well into orbit. Yeah, that's a big launch for seemingly no real reason. Right on board with the Ferrari this time around. Everyone slows down neatly, gets a little bit of a nudge, the car gets lifted up, and then we're off. Off into space we go. Few rolls, come back down. Amazingly, still 3 wheels on the car. Yeah, that's a big crash. Although, speaking of tumbling, Ferrari's EMP Lego brick on Forza Motorsport 6 racing around the Virginia International Raceway tries to take a bit too much speed, I guess, around that corner for the Ferrari as it goes over. Yeah, this is a very quick car, and that part of the track is very fast, but wasn't quite expecting to see a Formula 1 car go for a roll, so well done there. On to Assetto Corsa next, as a very fast Red Bull car just clips the back of a Ferrari, and once it starts going backwards, that is it. Again, another incredibly fast vehicle going off into space. Just gets turned and launched. One of the dangers of very high downforce cars when they do start going backwards, downforce then acts as lift, and, well, you see what happens there. Yeah, when you've got this much speed with those mod cars, that's off. That's Yeah, not coming down anytime soon. Black and Red 81 is also racing on a Assetto Corsa, coming up towards the final corners at Spa. Gets the car slowed down and gets turned around. Now, on board with the player, doesn't look anything out of, well, too much of the ordinary. A Corvette further back doesn't quite get stopped in time, bumps into the AI car ahead that loses control and wipes out the player. However, watch what happens to, there we go, the AI car involved in that. For whatever reason, as it gets fights to get control, kind of slows down and then physics has enough and just throws it across the track into the tyre bundle. Amazingly, didn't collect anybody else. And finally, we have Steel Guns on Train Simulator 2016, trying to fit a rather large train into a slightly too small red tunnel. You can see the train wobbling about already, and physics has had enough. Nope, train is not going to go through that part of the map. That's a interesting flight. I also love how it says derailed, just pops up at the top of the screen. I think being off the rails is the least of my concerns right now when the train is doing that, and then we land in the water. Yeah, good old trains. However, that is going to be it for this episode, guys. If you have clips you would like to submit to this series, then you can via our forums. There will be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the Failrace clip submission section, and you can find all of the rules and how to submit them in there. But that's going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.